words spoken by Christ. Some years ago, my mother-in-law wrote this book entitled The Warden and His Brother from Their Mother's Point of View. I just want to share these few words of Jesus with you from his mother's point of view. He called me woman. He said, woman. And he pointed at me. There were other women there, but he said, woman. He knew that I was his mother. He knows my name, but he said, woman. Not mama, not mother, not Mary, but woman. Then he says, behold your son. As if I was no longer his mother, but I am the mother of this one who stood next to him. Me, Mary, the virgin, the one called by God. Doesn't he know that I carried him for those 9 months? Doesn't he know that I suffered with him? Doesn't he know that the moment I imagined or heard from the angel that I would be pregnant with the Son of God, that I was his mother? Doesn't he understand the embarrassment and shame that I went through at the age of 16, being pregnant before I was married? I'm just glad that Joseph wanted to marry me. But it was all according to God's plan. But doesn't he know that I suffered when I gave birth to him? Doesn't he understand from the moment I became aware of the Immaculate Conception that he was my responsibility? I carried him. I watched him. When he fell, I picked him up. When he cried, I wiped away his tears. When he was hungry, I fed him. When he was naked, I clothed him. But here he is on the cross in this dying moment. Instead of telling me how much he loves me, instead of thanking me for everything that I've done for him, he looks at me and says, woman. Doesn't he know that I know that every moment of his life was lived according to his Father's plan. I knew that he would never really be mine, even though I gave birth to him, as if he had another mother somewhere. But 2 mothers can't give birth to the same child. But I understand that he was working and operating, living his life according to his Father's will. Even at the age of 12, when Joseph found him in the temple speaking. But it was me. I told Joseph, he's missing Joseph. Jesus is missing Joseph. We've got to go back. The caravan was moving forward. We were leaving the city. But I knew something was amiss. Something was wrong. My son, Jesus, was not there. I started calling out through the crowd. Anybody seen my son? Have you seen him? Joseph, we must go back. Joseph said, the caravan is moving forward. I said, but we must go back and find him. My son, Jesus, we must find him. I watched as he ministered to the multitudes. I watched as he healed the sick and raised the dead. I watched as any mother would watch, cheering him on, just reverencing him, just being mesmerized by his voice and knowing in my heart that he is my son. Doesn't he know that I was there in the courtyard when they whipped him? Doesn't he know that with every strike of the whip, when they ripped his flesh from his body, that I was in agony with him? Doesn't he know that with every stripe, my heart skipped a beat? Doesn't he know that I suffered in silent agony with him. A mother, I could not be at his side. I could not go into the courtroom, but I was there. I felt his pain. And there at the cross, as he is dying, he looks upon me, Mary, the chosen one of God, and says, woman, behold your son. Me, Mary, the one who watched as he walked up Golgotha's hill. Mary, me, his mother, the one who heard the hammer driving into his flesh. I can hear the hammer ringing. Oh, can't you hear the hammer ringing? Not one time, not two times, but over and over. My son, Jesus, dying, and there's nothing I can do about it. But watch as they lifted him from the ground, and the thunder of the cross as they dropped it into the hole. The silence of the crowd that fell upon them. I watched as they ripped his beard from his face. I watched as they spat on him. I watched as they taunted him, and I wanted to take his place, knowing that I never really could take his place. Jesus, my son Jesus, the Father's Son Jesus, God with us, Jesus, dying. And he looks at me and says, woman, tormented, riveted to the cross, bleeding, suffering, and he says to me, woman. Then I remembered the scripture that said that he was wounded for my transgressions, and my chastisement was upon him, and that he was suffering not for you but for me. My heart trembled as I realized he called me woman to let me know that he was transferring and transforming himself from my son to my Savior. There's no other way. My son can't die for me. My son can't ask God to forgive me. Only my Savior. Only my Savior. My son's blood is not good enough, but my Savior's blood cleanses a multitude of sins. He called me woman to let me know that I was equal with every other woman, virgin, every other mother, woman, every other adulteress, woman. I am no better than anyone else. Even though I brought him into the world, I still needed a Savior. And he is my Savior. So as he makes this complete transformation and transforms his responsibilities as a son, because he's no longer my son, but he